Hey everyone and welcome back to the sports section. First of all, thank you to the newest member of the channel. Really appreciate the support. Your name will pop up on the screen. Now, in this video, let's talk about, again, transfer rumors with regards to the striker position. I don't want to touch on the Estevao Willian case, especially on the amount of money that we're paying for a 17-year-old that barely has 40 games under its belt. I already did a video about him specifically. That video will be in the top right corner. Then touching a little bit on youngsters, contract for youngsters. I know Fabrizio has gotten a lot of heat in the last 24 hours with regards to those posts, so let's talk about that. And then again touch on the arguments that I've made, that you've made with regards to a swap deal for Crystal Palace, Michael Olise, talking about Noni Madueke, Trevor Chalobah, and the others as well. All of that in this video. So without further ado, let's get right into this. Sit back, relax, hit all the buttons, etc., etc. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's first start with the newest report from the Bild out of Germany. Chelsea have joined the race for Stuttgart forward Estevao Guirassy. Apologies for the mispronunciation. So he was a pretty good striker for them this season. Stuttgart finished second in the league, yes, above Bayern München. Now this is basically his profile. He's 28 years old, 187 centimeters. His performances, the spider chart here, he is pretty highly ranked in the percentile when it comes to assisting, shooting, carries, and aerial, which makes sense since he's pretty big presence in the box. With regards to assisting, that's because Stuttgart does play with two forward. The second one is Undav. Yes, you might have heard his name from his little time at Brighton, or if you've been following the Belgian league, he comes from Union Saint-Gilloise, so that's from there. So that's the formation that they've been playing. It will pop up on the screen. With regards to the heat map, he does play as a striker, but definitely also can play as a left winger. So now you're starting to see why this might be an interesting option for us, since we're also looking or semi-looking for a new left winger in case Sterling leaves or Madueke never works out. So a guy like him can play as a striker. Since he's 28 years old, he's not really going to ruin, let's say, the development of the likes of Nicolas Jackson, Nkunku, maybe Datro Fofana, or whoever comes in. So that's an option right now. If we look at the performances, not just this season, but the season before, by the way, yeah, he does remind me of Marcus Thuram. Marcus Thuram from Mönchengladbach that now plays at Inter Milan. He was free last year. I never understood why we didn't go for him, but okay. So, for this season for Stuttgart in the Bundesliga, 28 appearances, 28 goals. I believe 2 goals in the Pokal as well. So that's 30 goals in 30 appearances, plus 2 assists. The season beforehand, 24 appearances, only 11 goals. And then, but I don't think he started with them that season, since there is here another club that was from Ligue 1. Then beforehand, 2 seasons, so 37 games, only 9 goals, 27 games, 10 goals. So maybe this was, I wouldn't say one season wonder, but I'll say a one season wonder anyways, because if you see, 10 goals, 9 goals, 11 goals, and then suddenly 28 goals, and that's also because, well, they were quite a good team, performed quite well. They finished second in the Bundesliga, so definitely something good going on there, but overall, I can see why we're looking at a profile like him. If we compare him to Nicolas Jackson and Benjamin Sesko, I know we're not going to get Sesko anymore, Sesko, whatever, but I couldn't compare him to Duran because Duran's stats are outdated from this website. Also, I'm purely showing you this because it's great visually and you can clearly see what the differences are. But just bear in mind that percentile-wise, it's not comparing, or at least I don't think it's comparing these players purely one against the other. It's comparing them based in the league that they're playing. So yeah, it's not really that comparable. Anyways, you can clearly see Guirassy, pretty good, right? Overall, pretty good compared to the others. Nicolas Jackson is basically him, but a bit less. And then with Benjamin Sesko, you're getting a lot more in some areas, I would say, in 2 areas in this case. Non-penalty goals and aerial percentage. That's about it. And with regards to John Duran, here is the difference between Guirassy and John Duran's performance spider chart. You can see it's not that much a difference. So you can understand why this report came out. Again, just because a report comes out does not mean that it's 100% true. By the way, have you noticed that since the Euro has started, way less report in the last 24 hours, right? 24, 36 hours or so. Way less reports. Interesting, right? Interesting. Again, don't forget, the media, all they want is for you to click and for them to generate more advertising revenue because you click on their pages and you see the ads, etc., etc. Just bear that in mind. Anyways, with regards to the Duran-Guirassy type of debate here, one is extremely young. Yes, you're going to pay more than Guirassy because apparently his release clause is 20 million pounds, which it's a steal. But because it's a steal, Dortmund, in my opinion, are leading the race to sign him. Bundesliga, he knows it, so not that big of a change. I think he could fit their team pretty well. For us, could be a good buy as well. Not that expensive. He's 28 years old, so quite experienced, settled, in my opinion. Would not ruin the development of the youngsters either. Because if you get Duran at 20 years old, 40 million pounds, or at least that's what they want, maybe 30 plus 10 bonus or whatever, then yeah, it's a bit more expensive with a bit more risk, but more, let's say, runway, right? You're 20 years old, you're not 28, so there is time to develop that character. Again, I have been becoming a little bit of a fan, let's say, of John Duran. Not a big one, because let's face it, he hasn't played that much. But the little that he has played, the little that I've seen him play, the clips, the goals, you can see that there is a good striker, a very arrogant one as well. Maybe, I wouldn't say a Diego Costa type of guy, but there is some semi-banter in him as well. Even when you're winning by quite a lot, he likes to play around. Okay, maybe it needs to be disciplined a little bit. I mean, if you're joining Chelsea, you're probably going to get disciplined quite quickly. Otherwise, the door is there, right? So yeah, that's my thought basically on this debate. Let me know down in the comment section below what you think about those two strikers. Which one would you prefer? Moving on to the next topic is Estevao Willian. So I think a couple of weeks ago, no, maybe not a couple of weeks ago, a couple of days ago, I would say, Fabrizio Romano tweeted out 2 assists from Willian Estevao with Palmeiras last night and plan to join Chelsea remains 100% on track. Chelsea and Palmeiras still checking all documents. All parties believe just matter of days before deal signed. 40 million euros fixed, 25 million euros add-ons, and here we go, confirmed. On Saturday, Fabrizio tweeted out, medical test also completed for Willian Estevao as a new Chelsea player in Brazil. Still no official here we go just yet. Now, my biggest issue with all of that is that 40 million euros, plus he said that the 20 million euros bonus is extremely easy to get, which means that Palmeiras are definitely going to get 60 million euros for a 17-year-old that has 40 games, just 40 games overall under his belt. In my opinion, that's insanity. He can be a great player in the future, a great prospect, whatever. But right now, the fact that you have played 60 million euros, 65 million euros for him right now, first of all, the expectations are sky high. So the pressure on him is going to be huge from day one. Second of all, risk reward wise? Reward, okay, you're probably going to get maybe a great player for the 8 year that he's under contract at the club. Okay, he's 17, 8 years, that's going to be 25 years old or so if he stays until the end. 25 years old, that's usually a peak of a player. So maybe half the time that he's with us, he doesn't perform well. And again, 65 million euros, 60 million euros, it's quite a lot. It's quite a lot. Expectations are sky high, in my opinion. I mean, the whole transfer market is broken, in my opinion. If that's the type of money we have to pay for 17 years old out of Brazil that barely have, out of the 40, how many of those are actually high-level professional games? Not that many. Now you're going to say, oh, but look at Vini, look at Neymar. We already did a comparison. That video again will be in the top right corner. Hopefully he can be the next Neymar. Who knows? I'm not saying he's not talented, but I'm saying that the price we're paying for him is extremely high. Plus, people are saying and cheerleading for that. Yet when we talk about a John Duran, with a bit more experience, in my opinion, 40 million pounds, that's already, way too much. But yes, it is too much, but you cannot say that this is way too much and then say, oh yes, for sure, 60, 65 million euros Estevao Willian. makes total sense. No, this doesn't make sense and the other doesn't make sense either. The transfer market is broken. We have to stop paying those crazy amount of prices that this club want. It just doesn't make any sense. Anyways, moving to the next two topics, it's about youngsters. If we look at the first one, it's Pape Daouda Diong turns 18 and is now set to complete his move to Strasbourg. I believe this was announced already in January. We've seen it at the stadium, if I'm not mistaken. Bluco invested in this midfielder for the future last January, with him training at Chelsea and several times in attendance at Stamford Bridge, with potential future at CFC. Again, we're probably going to see a lot of these types of announcements with potential future at Chelsea. Let's see how they perform first at Strasbourg, and then if it doesn't work out, then we cash in. If it does, then he gets promoted to Chelsea, I guess. Then the other one, the one that created so much drama, as always, it's the weekend. People always are bored, so they look for drama on social media. Pretty toxic place, but then again, if you got many idiots, then that's what you get. Anyways, Fabrizio tweeted out, exclusive, Chelsea talented centre-back Tayo, I can't pronounce his last name, so I'm not going to butcher that, has agreed on new deal at the club, set to sign first professional contract as soon as he turns 17. Agreement in place for under 16 captain who won Premier League Under 17 Cup and plays Under 18. Despite interest from several Premier League clubs, he's staying at Chelsea. And then suddenly all hell broke loose. Oh, why are you tweeting about kids? Leave them alone, blah, blah, blah. We shouldn't be giving them that much attention, etc., etc., etc. So first of all, my opinion, and as I will say, this will be like the slogan of the channel, you don't debate opinions. But my opinion here is basically, yes, I can understand. We shouldn't really be looking at 15, 16 years old and making them kings on social media just yet. These are just kids. Leave them alone. Let them develop on their own. They do not need the added pressure from social media, from seeing likes and comments, toxic things. They don't need that. Let them become professional footballers on their own. And then after that, if you want to make a whole social media campaign, be my guest. On the flip side, it's true that when we talk about Estevao Willian, Kendry Paez, Lamine Yamal from Spain, he's also, 16, 17 years old? We talk about them a lot, right? Everybody tweets about them, makes videos about them. So one side, it's fine. The other one, it's not. Yes, it's true that one side has already played professional football at a higher level, etc., etc. Fine. But age-wise, not much of a difference. Again, that's just my opinion. You don't debate opinion, you debate facts. This is not a fact, this is an opinion. So, that's about it. Last thing is the swap. Olise, we've talked about maybe Madueke going to Crystal Palace. I said I think it's not a good idea because we need two players in that position to compete against each other for next season. So Madueke for Olise doesn't make sense. Trevor Chalobah, in part with cash, could make a lot of sense. Again, I don't decide, so I don't know. But I can understand the swap deal being made, Chalobah, Olise, and cash. But the Madueke cash plus Olise or Madueke for Olise, to me, just doesn't make much sense. I think, yes, we can use for Aston Villa and Crystal Palace, I think we can use players in those deals. But hopefully it won't be the ones that we can actually use next season. Let's wait and see what happens. Do leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. I know plenty of you, like Madueke, would like to give him another season, myself included. I wasn't the biggest fan, but I can, of course, give him another season to prove himself. So let's do that. Let's wait and see. Let's see. Hopefully in the coming days, week, let's say, I would like to see already some transfer being concluded. So we're done by the end of June, beginning of July for sure, especially for the striker and the winger position. And then if we need something else, an extra center back, left back, we can always go and look at the market. Hopefully it's going to be Calafiori. But yeah, I'm not getting my hopes up. Anyways, that's about it for this video. If you enjoy this type of videos, leave it a thumbs up, subscribe if you have not, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.